Hello everyone and welcome to Destination Penguins. We are Jarek and Agnieszka traveling to the bottom of South America in our van Mundo. In 2023, we left our American lives behind and embarked on the journey south. Life is short, world is beautiful, and we want to make memories for a lifetime. So join us on this journey as we publish the highlights on YouTube.
Hi guys, I'm from Slovakia, going around the world and start my long way in Slovakia. Next country being Poland, Kaliningrad, Lithuania, Latvia, all Russia, all Trans-Siberia and magistral to Vladivostok. And from Vladivostok I shipped my motorcycle with me on the boat to South Korea. I came to Vancouver in Canada. And from Vancouver to Canada on the west coast side on road number 1. I now going onto the south to Patagonia to Schweiz.
Sounds great, Jan, and I'm sure we're going to cross the paths because we're doing the same thing. And Jan is traveling on this fantastic motorcycle.
Yeah,
which is 50 years old.
50 years old.
50 years old, yeah. That motorcycle is Java 50 Czechoslovakian production in Kovačka Bystrica. And if you're asking some people in my country or other socialistic countries, every told you that every will say that this is iconic motorcycle.
That's right. And funny thing is, Jarek had this exactly
I used to
same
have
version.
one exactly 40 years ago when I was 19 years old. I used to have the same motorcycle.
And even there is a Jarek motto on it.
my name.
Yes. Yeah.
Really? This is
We are officially in Mazatlán, in the mainland Mexico. Still trying to get off the ferry.
Yeah, they started to move.
They started to move. Cool. All right. So everybody's brake lights are on. So a little update. So we are on mainland Mexico and it feels so different. Everything is really green and lush, and like the air is different and the air smells different. It just reminds us so much of Costa Rica. And Jarek drove after, you know, a long night on the boat. We were on the ferry 14 hours, plus we arrived at the ferry 2 hours before. We actually boarded the ferry 2 hours before, so we were on the ferry 16 hours. But we met some really, really interesting people, so it was really, really fun to do that. And then we drove, so we arrived in state of Nayarit and in a town called Tepic. It is a capital of the state. It's a really nice town on a higher elevation, so the air is really nice here. On the way here, we avoided toll roads, which some people say we are nuts, because we were going through Sinaloa and then Nayarit. And we did get stopped by we didn't get stopped. We went through a checkpoint handled by cartel, and the reason we know that is because we watched some other videos. Plus they were definitely not police. They were all dressed in black with the kind of covered faces, only showed eyes, but they waved us through. They didn't stop us, so that was kind of sort of a lucky break we had there. But I didn't realize that, so I couldn't record it. It wasn't fast enough. Anyway, so we are at this campsite here, and we are the only ones, and let me show you around. So it is a beautiful lawn. It's very nicely maintained, and so I wanted to first start showing you the Palmas multiply. We used to have these in our property in Costa Rica, and I love them. They are just beautiful ponds, and they have this growth on the bottom, so they don't look like skinny. They look really nice and full in this sense. Then there is an avocado tree. I can't see avocados at this point somehow. I wonder, but I mean, it's really nondescript tree, so that's the way it looks. And then behind our van, there are a whole bunch of bananas. And bananas are very interesting plants. So there is one whole bunch of bananas. It doesn't have a flower anymore, so they're probably very, very close to being picked. The second the flower drops off, you can actually pick the bananas off the tree and start ripening them, because they will never ripe on the tree. You have to cut them down. But there are few examples like this one. I don't know if the camera is going to fit, that there are bananas still with the flower. It has a purple flower at the bottom of that sort of branch, and the second this drops off, then the banana. So bananas are interesting plants, because once they grow on the stalk and they produce the fruit, the stalk dies off. And I saw a dead stalk somewhere around here. But in the same time, they get these new stalks growing in the vicinity, like this one. So this one is going to have, in a year, maybe a year and a half, maybe even less, I think, it's going to grow into the beautiful stalk and start producing bananas. So that's why they sort of always grow in this little banana forest, because they constantly reproduce the smaller stalks and the older ones die. So there's our banana forest behind Mundo. Anyway, this is our campsite. There's a beautiful ficus tree, by the way. Sorry, I love trees. It's very old, this ficus tree, and it's very healthy looking. It's gorgeous. Also, we have this tree with these flowers that, to be honest, I have never seen before. But the flowers are just, first of all, my favorite color, like a sort of orangey red. So it is beautiful, but I also can show you the actual flower, because they drop like crazy. So it seems like it's on some kind of it looks like a little bit like a nut or something. And then the flower has this beautiful orange in the middle, and then it turns into red on the outside. It's interesting shape. And oh, and I also wanted to show you these plants. We also had them in our property. They are like, they color, the magenta color with this darker sort of purple. It's just very nice in the garden, because they stand out from the green that it's so lush and prevalent in the tropical forests. So this one is a really nice older specimen. And they sort of in that color all year round. So when we were doing our designing our property, we had lots of those as well. All right, so there is this nest hanging from the tree, and the birds that occupied this nest, at least in Costa Rica, were called Montezuma. And they are very unique, because they build this entrapment basically out of little like branches and so on, and some pieces of grass, and they live inside. Hi, and I was recording, but oh, there he is on the branch. All right, so these are like small turkeys. They don't fly very well, but they jump from one branch to another, and they have this very specific call. Yeah, there's quite a few of them here around. We also had them in Costa Rica, and they were often early in the morning. Let's see if I can find him. He's on the branch. Oh yeah, there he goes. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, they flew away kind of thing. The last few days we have been visiting the town of Tequila and staying on the grounds of a small family-owned distillery, Puntual. Jose is a fourth-generation owner of this distillery that was founded by his great-grandfather in late 1800s. Jose was kind enough to show us the whole process from growing the agave on his 600 acres of land to harvesting it and then distilling it into delicious tequila. We're able to taste the 5 kinds of tequilas he produces from his agave plants. He does not sell the tequila into the stores. It's only distributed via mail all over the world. And we were very impressed with this operation. It is a very sustainable and organic production here on site.
Approximately 9-10 months of life, come to the size of one orange. This is the boiler to produce the steam through all the process. That's the wheel of the bottling machinery. And this is a new area. Lot of pressure. And here is the capacity. 7,500 kilos. This is the white tequila. Is the result when we end the process of distillation. Not is exactly white, really is transparent because the popular name is white tequila. Okay. If you agree, we can taste the white tequila first. It's okay?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's all we buy. It's only the white tequila.
Oh, yes. It's 1 ounce.
So I'm okay with half of it.
Like that.
Yes, good. That's it.
Okay. Oh. Okay. And
Oh, where does the name come from? Puntual.
Puntual. It's a old name because for my father and my grandfather, puntual can be translated like in time, and can be translated
Punctual.
punctual. It can be translated like in the correct way. puntual in the correct way. It's the most next to the interpretation. Okay. Okay. And we can drink tequila. For me, it's a favorite part of my job because I can drink. And if my wife say me, "Hey, you are an alcoholic man," oh no, no, I'm working with our travelers. It's different question. Okay, really, I love the tequila, but we are working. Okay, and the idea is not come direct to the stomach. The idea is put the tequila in your mouth and then across side by side 3 times. One, one, two, two, three, three. And then touch the palate and then swallow the tequila. Okay? And na zdrowie.
Nice.
Very nice.
It's strong, but it's soft also.
Mhm.
Okay? It's
Yeah.
different the sensation.
In this episode, we started our journey in La Paz on the ferry, 14 hours on the ferry to Mazatlan. Then the following day, we drove on in Sinaloa and then we crossed over to Nayarit and we stopped in the town of Tepic, that is a capital of the state of Nayarit. The following day, we continued to a Laguna Santa Maria del Oro, where we stayed for a few days to kind of relax after the trip. And after that, we drove to the town of Tequila, where we spent a few days on the grounds of the distillery Casa Puntual.